Hi guys, welcome to Brandix Reviews. Today I'm just going to very quickly be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Series 3. Now in context, this series is about to start airing on UK television. Today is January the 10th, 2016. Now this show actually started airing in America I think it was back in September time. So it's been out there for about 4 months and it's only just worked its way onto British television. So in that kind of context, I'm bearing in mind there's a few people that are watching this that may not have actually been following the show for a while or may not have even watched the show at all. Now, also, I want to say in context, I am a massive critic of this show. I really haven't enjoyed it at times, and I've only watched it because I'm such a fan of the movies. I feel kind of obliged to watch this, even knowing that this series doesn't even affect what you see in the films. The movies affect the series does not affect the films. So saying in that context, I'm not a big fan of the show. I really enjoyed Series 3, it has to be said. So I think coming from me, that's got to carry a bit of weight. So if you've not watched this show, either because you didn't like the look of it, or you have watched this show but maybe left it because it was rubbish, and it was rubbish a lot of the time, I say give it a chance with Series 3 because they've really stepped the game up to this. So definitely an improvement. I'm going to get into some specifics, but I'm not going to give away any spoilers, so don't worry about that. What can I really say without giving anything away? I can get through a couple of highlights anyway. Now, one thing, it's not really a major spoiler because we know the character already exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but if you go back to the Avengers film of 2012, there was this character played by Powers Booth, the actor, and he's a really good bad guy. That actor, he was in probably kind of people that will be watching this video probably know him from Sin City 1 and 2. He played the Rourke character. I think he was like a senator, and you'll know who I mean anyway. He was in Avengers, the Avengers or Avengers Assemble from 2012, and played one of the World Security Council guys who Nick Fury spoke to on the big telescreens. Those were the guys that said they were going to launch a nuclear missile at New York when the Chitauri invaded, and Nick Fury's kind of arguing with them. Well, his character is in the TV series in Series 3, and he's been in quite a few episodes. I think he comes into it a few episodes in, but he's been into every episode, every of the last few episodes up to where it's left off anyway, so far. Because at the moment, as I'm recording this, in America, the TV series is on kind of a 2 or 3 month hiatus over the winter. So they've kind of ended things just before Christmas till about March. So his character's been in this, and it stands to reason he's a bad guy as well because he was part of the World Security Council in that first movie. Subsequently, in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, we found out that S.H.I.E.L.D. had been infiltrated by Hydra. So, as I say, it stood to reason that characters like the Gideon Malik character played by Powers Booth would actually be a bad guy, and that is confirmed to be the case in the TV series. And he's been a pretty good bad guy as well, which is what you get with Powers Booth. Like I say, he does tend to play a lot of villains in films. I think another one that I can think that he was in was a Van Damme film called Sudden Death, which is quite a good Van Damme film. That's the one where it's kind of like Van Damme's answer to Die Hard, but it's in an ice skating arena. If you haven't seen the film, check it out. But Powers Booth is quite good anyway. So that's a highlight of the show anyway. His role in that. There's been a couple of other things as well. You might remember Baron von Strucker in. Well, he was established in the post-credit scene in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but he was also in Avengers: Age of Ultron. He was a guy with the monocle, and he wasn't in Age of Ultron all that much. Disappointingly, I hoped he would be, but his son is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Series 3. So there's a bit more connectivity from the TV show to the films. Well, it's more the films to the TV show, to be honest. It's one where the films don't affect... The films affect the show doesn't affect the films. So, but it's great that they've done that, because it shows it's part of the same universe. So, what else? Another highlight of the series... I'm going to be fairly careful here not to give spoilers away, so let's just put it this way. If you've seen a film called The Martian, or if you know of a film called The Martian that came out last year in 2014... Great film, probably my favourite film of last year. There's an episode of this that it rips it off. It rips the film off, but in a good way, in a very respectful way. And some people said, well, it can't have ripped it off because the episode will have like gone into production before that film came out. That film was based on a book, and the film, we knew what the film was going to be long before it got released in cinemas, so it ripped it off. And it was a really great episode. It's probably my favourite episode of the show, and I'm not going to say exactly who is involved in that episode because that would be a spoiler. But rest assured, there's an episode very much like The Martian. The whole episode, it's not just bits of an episode, a whole episode is dedicated to this character stranded on this planet that is very much like Mars, and they have to kind of fight for their survival, for food, water, shelter, all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's more to it than what you saw in the film The Martian, but effectively that's what it is. Like I say, it was done kind of video diary style as well. Like the Martian film was. So, as I say, it was probably my favourite episode of the show. So, for not just series 3, but the whole series, very memorable. So again, that's another highlight of the series to watch out for. And when the episode comes up, you're in for a treat because it was really good. So again, I don't want to say too much about this. I've been very positive. Like I say, every other time I've spoken about this TV show, I've been very negative. I've been very critical of it. I've said in the past, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I don't know any part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that feels this cheap. And that is really one of the main criticisms that has been levied against the show, and I have levied against the show. And just the whole Joss Whedon stamp of Beverly Hills 90210, where you've got these characters that aren't teenagers, but they act like teenagers, and this character fancies this character, has a crush on them, and they want to ask them out on a date, but then they can't because someone else is going to date with them, and they get upset and they start crying about it. It's like, that's Beverly Hills 90210. That's not what we want from an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series. There's still elements of that in series 3, but it seems to be a little bit more toned down. I mean, they're going to do, I mean, I guess they did that in some of the films. I mean, take Avengers Age of Ultron, you've got the Bruce Banner character and the Black Widow character having a bit of that. But again, that's a Joss Whedon thing, so it seems like anything that Joss Whedon is either involved with or his work has been influenced, because I know he doesn't really have anything to do with the series, but he's got his fingerprint on it. Anything to do with him usually has teenagers and dating and angst and all that kind of stuff, which kind of really I find off-putting about the show. Point being, anyway, Series 3 seems to tone that down. Now, one last thing I want to say about this is the whole Inhumans thing. Now, the Inhumans is a film that's going to be coming out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe around about 2019, 2020. We'll see, because it keeps getting pushed back. But it's the Inhumans. It's kind of like the X-Men. You've got these characters that have these like superpowers, and they're sort of like mutants, but it's not the X-Men. They can't do X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because that's owned by 20th Century Fox. Well, they own the license to make the films anyway. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe is taking this Inhumans thing and going to be introducing that in a film many films down the line, many years down the line. I mean, in context, they're not going to do an Inhumans movie until after we've had Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, the Infinity War 1 and 2. There's going to be all sorts. There's going to be another Captain America film coming out. There's Thor, Ragnarok, and whatever else that they've got lined up, Spider-Man. After all that, they're going to do this Inhumans movie, so that's way down the line at this point. But in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've already started sowing the seeds for that, and they've already introduced Inhumans characters into the television side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the question then becomes, when this movie comes out way down the line, are they going to refer back to stuff that's been established in this TV show that not even a lot of the real fans of the films have followed? I mean, I have, because I'm kind of sad. I've got too much free time. But are they really going to lend from that? I mean, this show might not even be still on the air. It probably won't still be on the air by the time this movie comes out. It's doubtful they're going to say, well, in this movie, we're going to have some characters or some concepts that they established years ago in this TV show that not a lot of people watched. It's doubtful. Now, don't just take my word for that. Clark Gregg, the actor who plays Agent Coulson, who I'm sure you're aware of who that is. The actor Clark Gregg has said recently in an interview he doubts that when they do this film, they're going to lend from that. let's read this article on comicbook.com under the headline, Clark Gregg thinks Inhumans movie will be its own cinematic version, which pretty much says it all. He says he doesn't see there being a whole lot of connective tissue between the Inhumans movie and what occurs on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and expects the Inhumans of the big screen to be quite distinct from those of the ABC series. Now we're going to get into a quote here. It's only a short one. This is what Clark Gregg told Digital Spy. The Inhumans movie, I suspect, will be its own cinematic version. The writer and director will have free rein to do what they want to do with the Inhumans, but hopefully there will be some way that our Inhumans connect to that. It'd be too bad if that was wasted. I can't help but agree with him there, to be honest, because what they've done with the Inhumans, particularly in Series 3, has been quite good and quite interesting, let's just put it that way. Not too boring. There hasn't been any moments where I've just thought, oh, that's rubbish, that's, they've diluted it or whatever. I think what they've done with the Inhumans in this has really been quite interesting and well done to them, to be honest. So it would be a shame if that was wasted, but at the same time I can very much understand if when they make this movie it has bugger all to do with what the TV series has established already. So if you're even following me at this point, it's kind of a complicated issue because, like I said, the Inhumans is not. If you haven't even watched the TV show, you haven't read the comics, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, very kind of specialist kind of subject I'm kind of getting into. So we'll see anyway when the movie comes out. It's a lot of years down the line until that comes out. Now, what other stuff have we got with the Marvel Cinematic Universe TV side? We've got Agent Carter Series 2. Now, that is something I really enjoyed last year, Series 1. I think it was a real nice little treat. It wasn't as long a series as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was only 8 episodes. Series 2, I think, is 10 episodes.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
America's top agent is heading to Hollywood for action.
I'm the chick with the shotgun.
Fantastic.
Romance.
Say it.
You should too.
And a whole lot of kicking.
Need to punch all of LA.
I could do with a hobby.
Pitter patter pop and the heart goes.
Ready for another adventure, Miss Carter?
Marvel's Agent Carter.
And it kind of fills that gap when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is off the air for its winter hiatus. Agent Carter comes on, and if you follow it, if you're watching the show legitimately in the UK, they don't even show it on Channel 4 or E4. They show it on Sky. So even then, you're probably not going to see it legitimately. So you'd either have to wait for it to come out on Blu-ray, which would probably be like November time when Series 2 comes out. It follows the same pattern as Series 1 did. There are other ways of watching these things. Rest assured, I'm sure you know how those things work. I'm not going to endorse things like streaming or torrenting or whatever, but some people do that, whatever. So, Agent Carter, like I say, it was a real nice little treat last year. So I'm hoping Series 2 is as good as Series 1 was because I really enjoyed that. And you can buy that on Blu-ray. I've done reviews of all these. Series 1, Series 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter Series 1. None of the others are available on DVD or Blu-ray yet. We also have the Netflix side of things, which is, again, canon, but it's separate from these because these aren't Netflix shows. These aren't Netflix originals. Whereas Daredevil Series 1 and the upcoming Series 2, which I'm massively looking forward to. They're introducing the Punisher, played by John Bernthal. It looks amazing. But also Jessica Jones, which I thought was really good and really worth a watch. Worth paying for Netflix just to watch those shows, seriously. So that's, again, something to check out anyway. I've spoken about the Jessica Jones series very recently, so check out brandxreviews.com or just go to the YouTube channel. Obviously you're watching this, so you're already on it. And check out my review of Agent Carter, of Jessica Jones, because it was a real nice little treat. So we recently learned that Daredevil Series 2 is coming out worldwide on Netflix on March the 18th, so I'm looking forward to that. After that, Netflix is releasing a Luke Cage series, and Luke Cage was introduced in Jessica Jones Series 1, so he gets his own series. There's going to be a few other things as well, a Defenders series, which is kind of like a street-level version of the Avengers, from what I gather, what they're doing with the series, and also an Iron Fist series as well. Maybe even a Punisher series of his own, because apparently a lot of people have seen his part in Daredevil Series 2, have said he's really good. Now, obviously, that's the kind of producers of the show, so heaven forbid they should say that their character's rubbish. They wouldn't do that. So when they say that he's good, course they're going to say that. But I'm pretty sure he will be. I mean, John Bernthal is a pretty good actor. He was in The Wolf of Wall Street and Fury. I think he was in The Walking Dead, which I haven't watched, but apparently he's well liked in that. So I think he'll make a good Punisher, let's just put it that way. So this isn't the point of this video, is it? I was supposed to be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I've just kind of gone off on one about the Netflix stuff. But it's all canon. All these things that I've spoken about here are canon. They are part of the same universe. They are supposed to be real within the same universe. So we're not talking about X-Men or the Amazing Spider-Man films or the Fantastic Four. None of those are canon with this. They are Marvel, but they aren't part of this universe. You can't cross them over. So that's said anyway. That's kind of a side issue. So leave it there. Go to BrandXReviews.com. That's the website. If you want to follow us on social media, feel free to do so. There's some information coming up on how you can do that. But before I carry on rambling any further, I'm going to wrap this up and say thank you very much for watching. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just so you know, for more news, reviews and retrospectives, you can like our page on Facebook, simply called Brand X Reviews. But as well as that, you can also subscribe to us on YouTube via this video. You can also bookmark our website, which is brandxreviews.com, which is pretty much a central hub for everything that I've just mentioned. So check that out and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.